The most powerful kingdom on Azeroth is coming back. The Lost Humans. You guys know how I feel about Lordaeron. It's always been the thing I've said I want to see come back. I want to see Lordaeron rebuilt. I want to see it restored to its former glory. I need me some Lordaeron lore back in the game. I would love to see this. Let's see what Doran has found about how this kingdom might return.
Did you know that a completely undiscovered human kingdom lies somewhere on Azeroth, possibly as powerful as Stormwind, but at least the size of Gilneas? This is a mix between Gilneas, Lordaeron, and Titan architecture, and they're wielding weapons we had never seen before. And before you say no, these are not the Light Humans from the War Within trailer. The Light Humans are just a small group of the Paladins that split away from these guys a while ago.
Right.
However, this massive human kingdom exists on a landmass no one has ever reached yet because we never interacted with these guys. We never saw
Talking about
mentions,
Avalon or
travelers, expeditions.
Yeah, the new humans that we're going to see in Hallowfall are actually ancient Arathi humans. Like, these are humans that split off from the first Arathi human kingdom, the original of all the human kingdoms. That's where they come from. I guess he's hinting at some human kingdom we've never seen before.
We are only going to uncover one of their expeditions soon. These guys know nothing of the Legion invasion, the Scourge, the Horde, the Alliance, the Lich King. Therefore, if they do become playable, this could mean that the Horde would get playable humans, as crazy as that sounds. What is this 8 undiscovered human kingdom, and is it the most powerful human kingdom we are yet to see?
Ooh.
Did you know you can play WoW on your phone? You can check in on your characters, you can play the game, you can even do minor things you don't really want to do on the PC. With this video sponsor,
forget touching grass. Play WoW on your phone. Do it at the toilet.
Available for Windows, iOS, and
Take a
Android.
shit, play
Awesome
WoW.
is incredibly easy to use. Check out my link in the description. Download the PC and the phone version and just connect it. The free version itself is amazing as you can control your desktop, transfer files, but the real deal is the game version. It has custom keyboards for various games other than just WoW, and you can enjoy AFK gaming at any time, anywhere with
crazy.
game sound. Make sure to
can't
use my code
imagine
Doran
playing
to
WoW
get
myself.
7 days completely free, only for the first 200 people. They also got a smart plug to turn off your PC at any time, as well as hot sales with up to 40% off on Pro and Game versions. Check out Awesome.
There it is.
If you're familiar with the human lore, you might remember that in the ancient past, in the northern part of the Eastern Kingdoms, there existed the Arathi Empire. It was the main military force led by the humans. Most notably, it defeated the Troll Empire, and at the time, it was one of the most.
Well, I feel like the troll lore is all just them being defeated. Like, great troll empires have been defeated. That's their lore. That's a summarization of troll lore. I feel bad for them.
Powerful military forces really
Got beat by the
on
humans,
Azeroth.
got beat by the
Eventually,
elves.
It's split into the
Just keep
7 human kingdoms, which is one of the reasons the continent is called the Eastern Kingdoms. However, by this new lore that is coming in the War Within, it turns out there are in fact
We're gonna
8
do something in the game,
kingdoms,
but yeah, we
and
cleared
this
everything.
could have some serious implications. So in order to really grasp this, let's just focus on the timeline real quick so you can kind of see how this falls into place. Troll Wars happened some 2,800 years ago, and this was a massive war between the Amani, the United Trolls, and the humans and the High Elves of Qualtalas. Now, following this victory, eventually the very powerful Arathi Empire splintered. Now, there wasn't some groundbreaking event where the empire just shattered. It kind of happened gradually.
Yeah.
We got Dalaran splitting as a magic
It split up, really. That's what happened to that empire. Is it just kind of split up over time? That's what happened.
That didn't like the magic
Population
laws of Strom,
outgrew the
which is
kingdom,
Iraq's
just
capital,
kinda moved
and then over
out,
time,
split up.
Everyone just kind of started
Yeah,
doing
that's
their
what we're
own
gonna do,
thing.
Monarch.
However, this was a process that happened more than 1,000 years after the Troll Wars. We know that some 1,200 years ago, Stormwind gained their independence and settled far south. However, at the same time, we got the militaristic Gilneas and Alterac, and from this militaristic Gilneas, sailors ventured a bit further down the sea, founded Kul Tiraz that we had recently visited.
Right.
Lordaeron was also formed, and it was a pretty big religious site for the humans, and we'll get to this in a bit why this could be relevant. Now, I know this is a fantasy universe, and very often Blizzard kind of just likes to throw years away. So, 10,000 years ago, 1,000 years ago doesn't really mean much to you. However, just think about it like in real life terms. I mean, keep in mind, the split between the Arathi Empire and Stormwind happened as much as we are here in the present day and the fall of the Western Roman Empire. So you can kind of grasp how over that time period, not only would new nations form, but also completely different cultures, cultures, new traditions,
Right.
languages, especially if these kingdoms were geographically far apart and isolated. And this brings us to the new and undiscovered human kingdoms, which is by definition going to be the most different of all the other human kingdoms we could ever encounter. So
I could imagine them being very different. I mean, you would imagine if these human kingdoms haven't been discovered yet, they've had the least interaction by far with any other human kingdom. I mean, yes, he just mentioned geographically, Gilneas and Stormwind, Lordaeron, they're all separated, but they had a lot of interaction with each other throughout the history of mankind in the game, right? There was plenty of interactions. They knew of each other. They were actually allies with each other. So that happens. So their cultures still had some similarities, some lines that were drawn the same. Whereas a human kingdom that has never interacted at all with any of the current human kingdoms, yeah, I could imagine being very different.
Info is coming from the post-BlizzCon interview from some of the lead narrative people working on the World Soul Saga, and they were asked about those light humans, and so many people just completely read over this and they missed one single line that predicted a huge amount of new content coming, as well as a brand new continent. We were told how we got the 7 human kingdoms, this is the 8th human kingdom that we never heard about. However, this split didn't happen together with the 7 human kingdom split that we know in the lore, which is why we never heard about them, why this isn't actually a retcon, but these humans split prior to this event. We can of course only speculate on the timeline when it happened, but seeing that the major turning event for the Arathi Empire was the Troll War 2800 years ago, it probably didn't happen before that. So more than likely, these humans split sometime between 1200 years ago, the Stormwind Independence, to 2800 years ago, the Troll Wars, and potentially even during the Troll Wars. I mean, they might have been against the war, they might have not wanted to ally with the elves, who really knows? I mean, we could really only speculate about this. However, this little bit of info from the interview here is key information. The 8th human kingdom spawned a new kingdom across the sea. That is the only thing we know, but these are not the light humans. These are completely different people we are yet to discover. The interview says this, and I quote, "These guys are a splintered group from that kingdom that received a vision about a falling star, and it took them to Harrow Fall. These guys are super devoted to the light. They're like uber paladins." So think about it. Just we have cool.
So the humans of Hallowfall didn't split directly off from the Arathi humans, the Arathi kingdom. They split off from a group that had already split off from the Arathis. So they're coming. That's how he's reading the interview. Okay, and that could be the case for sure. Yeah, they come from that kingdom. These guys come from that kingdom. A group of them that left and spawned their own kingdom across the sea. Oh, how did I miss that? This is actually a good catch by Doran. Like, people always say, oh, he's speculating, he's pulling shit out. No, this is true. Like, directly from them. He's right. He just caught something I think that a lot of us missed.
Super devoted to the light. They're like humans of Harrowfall are the offshoot of this undiscovered human kingdom. Now, remember what I previously said. 1200 years is a long time. And if your geographic is split, it can form to something
split without any interaction. Yeah.
This is why the architecture of Stormwind, Gilneas, Lordaeron, Dalaran is just completely different, even though they're interconnected. The culture is generally similar, but there are obviously quite a few differences. Now, check this out. If these guys split twice as long ago and they sailed really far away, and seeing that we never heard about them or interacted with them, it must mean they are actually isolated. With the Eastern Kingdoms, it is a bit different. I mean, they war with each other, traded, created the Alliance of Lordaeron, they shared a lot of common struggles, so there was quite a bit of contact between the 7 human kingdoms over the years. Kultiras itself, for example, is on an island, but it was closely tied to the rest, hence it is quite similar. It participated in all the recent events, but these guys are far away, split, completely different. They know nothing of the Orc invasion, of the Scourge and the Lich King in Arthas, or the Alliance and the Horde, or the Legion invasion.
I wonder how much all this stuff, I mean, they clearly didn't join us in the fight, or we didn't see them fighting with us, so maybe they never saw any of this stuff, although a Legion invasion, I would think, is a worldwide event. Maybe not the Scourge because they were so far removed, maybe it never, the plague never spread over there, but the Legion invasion, I would think they would have fought against it. Just maybe we didn't see them fighting.
As far as we can tell right now, what I'm saying is that we can expect these humans to be completely different than anything we had ever seen before. Now you may be thinking, I mean, what could they actually look like? And the closest thing we can attach to them right now are the light humans from Castlegar.
Right, because they came from there.
Zeppelins that humans never really do. Powered by weird form of holy light, their architecture is also strange, like a mix between Gilneas and Lordaeron. Right. Furthermore, from the trailer itself, we can see multiple body types, the regular and the Kultiran one, which means they might also have a completely different appearance, especially these light humans.
We
However,
actually haven't seen any. Now that I think about it, I mean, we did see that one boss in the dungeon, so he looks like a Coltiran, but we haven't seen a lot. I wonder if they're gonna have new
especially
customizations.
these light humans. However,
Be kinda
once again,
cool.
as I said, these guys are not the light humans. The light guys split quite a while ago, without a doubt, so there could be differences between these as well. The 8th human kingdom is certainly not on Kazagar. These uber paladins already established huge cities and a culture based on the light, so
They have very
been
cool
here for a
architecture.
while. Also, most of
I
the
love the way their new architecture. This looks so badass. This is, and I'm not even like a paladin fanboy, but man, this looks cool.
Also, most of the things we had seen is light-based, which means they're probably just repurposed the 8 Kingdom stuff and just turned it into light stuff, like light weapons. Now, here's the super interesting part.
Mind you, I want to say their light is very different from our light. So far, it's been described as a flaming light, and honestly, I feel like this is the true light, and the light we have is like some kind of weird Titan version of light. So we're going to learn, I think, a lot about the real light from these guys.
Weapons.
And maybe
now,
their
here's
ancient
the super
kingdom is the
interesting
same
part.
way.
We had visited most of Azeroth. We had been to the Lost Isles, to Kazan, to Pandaria, Dragon Isles, and we have never heard anything about them. Not a single traded item, not a single traveler, not a single merchant, not a single expedition. Even with Pandaria, that was like completely hidden by the mists. We had encountered a traveling Pandaren, but there is not one single word of these guys, and it means they might be somewhere that is completely unreachable, and there must be a reason why no pirate or traveler heard of this kingdom. As I said in my previous video, the biggest speculation is that these guys are going to be on Avaloran. You must have heard about Avaloran more than a million times.
Yeah, I figured this
so
was
no
going
need
that
to
direction.
The only thing I want to reference is the official documents.
But it's interesting because the Night Squall, he has references to what is likely he's referring to Avaloran. He sailed to another continent, but he doesn't refer to finding any human kingdoms there. He does find treasure and riches, so maybe they're coming from that kingdom, but he never mentions another human kingdom.
Recently in Dragonflight, like 6 months to recently. One says that an island known as Avaloran exists where Titanforge rebels are, and the other says that a green dragon formed a new Dragonflight somewhere beyond the storming sea that the Titans don't want others to reach, and that no one has ever really reached in the past. The other document says a pirate reached a landmass no one else could in the past,
Yeah,
and
he's
the
talking
old
about the Night Squall
document from Deathwing's laboratory says the Titans apparently hid something beyond the sea. So essentially, all throughout Dragonflight, we got 4 documents that a super unreachable landmass exists somewhere on Azeroth, and then at the same time, we got a human kingdom that no one has heard about for like 2,000 years, and no one has ever had contact with. I mean, you can kind of connect the two. Humans, even on islands, you know, they generally trade, raid, travel, but if they're really on such an unreachable continent, it would really explain why the 8th human kingdom would really be so isolated. So I'm almost certain that through the light humans in the War Within, we are going to learn about their true origin, and we're going to get patch content where we will discover this human kingdom. The Titan Forged rebels that defeated Odin are so going to be relevant with the Titans bad theme that is going on in the World Soul Saga. Now, if we kind of batch these bits of info into one, and we say that these humans had actually established themselves on Avaloran, we can expect this new Lordaeron to be in contact with the Titan Forged rebels that had their own also isolated culture for much longer than humans, which means they might know a lot more than we know about the Titans, the World Soul, Azeroth.
That might be where their relevancy comes in. They might know things that we don't about the Titans and everything else. And we know the Titans have sent expeditions to this other continent, and they've been pushed back. So maybe these guys are really powerful. Maybe they don't like the Titans. Maybe they know, you know, the truth about them. Maybe some bad things that we didn't realize. But yeah, they could reveal a new lore for us. No, most definitely.
All the crazy speculation theories. Furthermore, they would interact with these dragons and other native beings. Seeing that they also got really advanced flying zeppelins and such, and other humans don't, it's likely they didn't come to this invention on a desolated island, but instead they picked it up from the technologically advanced Titan rebels. So with all this info, let's kind of paint a picture of what this human kingdom could look like. Imagine a mix between Gilneas and Lordaeron with different body types like the Cultirans and the regular humans. They're also technologically advanced with weapons we had never encountered before, probably heavy Titan influenced. So
new religions,
like a crazy
probably
mix between Cultirans and Oldar, if that makes sense, and they may or may not worship light. It is possible that the light is a huge part, or that the light
I would think, based on the Hallowfall Paladins, that the light is a central part to their culture. The flaming light, at least, is.
might hear about it and took the light with them, and the others don't really believe in the holy light anymore.
Or yeah, this is a sect, a religious sect that left. That could be it too.
This is also one of the reasons I said in the past we may be getting neutral humans in the future. If you said Horde dwarves were coming before BlizzCon, everyone would think you're super crazy,
right?
But it is happening.
Yeah, it could
However,
be neutral.
These humans only ever allied with Quel'Thalas in the past. The Horde and the Alliance are all the same to them. They really have no such faction affiliations. This means that if they do become playable, there would be no reason why they would really join the Alliance. However, I'm almost certain they're going to play a really big role.
Humans could play as druids?
Other things that are kind of going on at the same time. Stromgarde is all but done, and it is really just waiting for an update in the game. The city exists in the lore. Ilneos was reclaimed. Soon we're getting Kultiras updates. These guys originated from Stromgarde, the city that was known as Strom, and I feel like with their heritage, they're going to play a big role in all this stuff as well. Overall though, despite barely any info going on, this seriously might be one of the most exciting things we're going to cover soon, especially if it happens in the war with him. Thank you for watching. Check out how Lydia is going to betray us by clicking on the screen, and check out my video on ancient Greek colonies in Spain by clicking on the screen as well. See you next time.
Yeah, an ancient human civilization that gets discovered, a new human kingdom. I would think they would be neutral cross-faction, much like they're doing with the dwarves right now. But I'd be excited about that. I would love to see another human kingdom, all new architecture and things, and what a human kingdom that's been separated from the others would look like. And that would be cool to me. We'll see if it happens.